Okay, I had to hike further than I wanted to. I wanted to drive to this point and park, but I'm finally at the bottom of the hill where the creek crosses the road, crosses Sudlow Lee. This little hunting path is Sudlow Lee. I could drive it except for one big tree that was in the way. So I'm going to go across this bridge. On the other side of this lake stream here, on the left side of it, in this direction, there will be a house, which could be the house of Thurman Hall Rodeheaver, Homer Rodeheaver's father. And Lord give me strength, because my back is got an issue. Well, it turned out to be a rather hot day, 70 degrees or whatever. No wind, I think, is the real issue. This is the first beaver pond. I'm sure they've dammed up this creek to create all this beauty. There are beaver chewings everywhere. That tree right there is a beaver chewed tree, and there's a beaver dam right out there. There's where Mr. and Mrs. Beaver in Narnia live. And I'm going to press on for the rest of this little journey of mine. Here's another angle of the beaver dam, more up on a hill. And here's the hard work of the beaver right there. There's your beaver dam. Gosh, I'd say that's 45, 50 yards across. They've been sawing up here, I tell you what. And this is all, oh, it looks like there's a logging trail over there. This is all what was Rodeheaver land right through here. This is where Homer spent the first 6 months of his life before he got took ill and they moved to Tennessee. Okay, here's an old logging road in. I didn't see it most of the way. I took to the hills up here because it's shadier and not as many briars. Here's another beaver dam, and I can see the roof line of the house. Maybe not. It's right there gleaming in the middle of this picture. And here's the rest of that logging trail or whatever. This might have been where the Rodeheavers once had their sawmill. Here it is, folks. This definitely has the age of the 1800s in my opinion. That's yet to be determined though. This could have been the birthplace even of Homer Rodeheaver. Unless he was, you know, born somewhere else in another house of a midwife or something of that sort. But this is definitely old enough to be from the 1880s. And it still stands right in front of probably a creek at the time. Definitely today there's beaver dams and things like that. It's not hard to imagine how with all this water dammed up, or even just the streams, that he could have had a small, you know, as the obituary says, a small sawmill business. Plenty of timber and little tributaries here to float it out of here. The lumber, that is. So that's that right there. And again, back this way, I'll go investigate in a minute. There is could have been the sawmill itself. There's looks like some farm implements back there too. Okay, we're going to look in some windows, watching out for snakes. Hello? Is anyone home? Homer? Ah, that's kind of dorky. Anyhow, I had to do that. I'm a Billy Sunday nerd. I admit it. And I'm not sure if I'm nerdy enough to go in here with the bats and the owls or anything like that. Wow, roof's falling. Room over there. This is the main entryway door. Back door. I think everything's a back door now. In a room to the right. Fireplace right there. I'm going to carefully step up into here and see what's what. Alright, looks like a wheelbarrow back there, and there's a back section off of this house. Boy, these old beams, I'd say 1800s. There's an old mattress in there. This stonework might be telltale of its age. I don't know. Look how big those stones are. Hand chiseled out of a quarry. I don't know, it looks hand chiseled. I'm just making stuff up like I know. And there's the back room there. Ain't even gonna attempt that. You can see it back there. It's quite a challenge already to come in here, and there's the lake again. This is about as far as I'm gonna go. If this thing has an upstairs, I'm not really sure. Oh, there's the upstairs. You don't even need stairs. Just go up. I don't know where the stairs would be. I'd think they'd be off of the main meeting room. I am not venturing that way. Maybe I'll catch some more information on the back side of this thing. A little barn door and some nice birds hanging out in there. I'm guessing that's the stairs. I'll take a peek in a minute. Going back outside now. I'll run another video here in a minute. Okay, so this is the back door side. Here's some old doors. There's a door laying right there on the ground. That little spot in the middle there's some wall text that's left. Right there too. And here's some wall text. Don't know if that's Rodeheaver original or some later date or anything like that. It's an old hinge. And under that piece of metal there is a well. And of course here's the back side. I don't see a definite entryway. Maybe the stairs were ripped out of this place. Maybe they used a ladder, but I'm thinking this would have had stairs, if I can get that tongue twister out. Have had. And this is the backyard. And again, the fireplace. Alright, there's some horsehair plaster on the back, which is still got the hair in it. Definitely 1800s. I'm sure they did that well past the 1800s, but this straight across there, you can barely see it, but there's blue wallpaper. It's bluish. So this could be Homer's room. Nursery, the nursery, yeah. Or where he fought off illness. Okay, well, I brought this along. It's some Photoshop of Homer that I did. Put this right by the fireplace. I'd have put it right at the outside entryway. It just wouldn't last the weather. Well, they put a flag on the moon. Probably put a flag on Mount Everest. Here's my flag. Okay, here's another structure. 2 stone pillars. I'm not sure at this point if they are fireplaces or just structures to hold things up. They could have been to hold up machinery. There's some stone in the ground there. It goes that way a little. Then there's these 4 almost pyramidal like they look like pillars that you'd put a wood post on top of in a row. There's a wall. Then there's this circular thing, stone circular. It's kind of hard to see through the weeds. So I don't know anything about sawmills, but I'm sure someone can help me out with whether or not this was the site of a sawmill. Probably was. Alright, one last look at what we will call the Rodeheaver house. Rodeheaver house on the right. What we'll call the sawmill on the left, past the broken trees. To the left of that, beaver dam. On the right side of that, water. There's like 3 layers of beaver dams. Actually, that's a beaver hut. We've seen 2 beaver huts and like 2 or 3 beaver dams, and that's a beaver dam up there. And this is the property foreshore of the Rodeheavers. How long they lived here before Homer, I don't know. I'd have to look records. And then it goes down that way a few more football field lengths into that hollow. Who knows, is this Cinco Chinko Hollow? Couldn't find it on any historic maps. It must have been if it was a name that they gave it a long time ago, and it's probably been forgotten in history, blown in the wind, eaten by a beaver.